This is the breach. This is where you want to go.
You're too late. My servant is already inside your walls, and his hunger is ravenous. He will devour your corpse, and those of your friends.
I'll be back. I'm not saying that I'm not scared, Asmodan, but I got some other things I need to take care of this way. So let's finish exploring the depths underneath the keep before we head to the breach, which is the breach in the keep, where they're entering from. Really? Ranged plagues? How does that work out? I was just finished saying that so many enemies aren't ranged, and then you show me a ranged one with plagued as the buff. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. A lot of dead guardsmen around here. So, yeah, we have a lot to explore this way. I really did not expect to get it right the first time, and therefore did it.
These tunnels go? We have come so far already.
Seriously, that's what I was saying. I'm like, these are going on for a long time. I don't understand. This actually reminds me of something that was said at BlizzCon. I bring up BlizzCon a lot. Somebody had said, I think it was about in the first act of Diablo 2, the monastery jail, where it was just like, who would design a jail like this? That's what this is reminding me of. Like, what kind of basement is this? What kind of design is this? They swore, no, you know, we're not going to have anything that complicated again. And, well, it isn't that Ooh, follow barbarians. This is important for me.
I have been fortunate enough to learn much of the barbarians' complicated history in my time. Yet the origins of these large, mighty warriors are hazy at best. Legend holds that they are the offspring of Bull Kathos, an ancient who embodied their ideals of strength, bravery, and courage.
I am the offspring of Bull Kathos. I'm also the Nephilim. I'm a dual threat that way. Die, Soul Rippers! Yeah, she doesn't seem to do very much damage at all after that first initial ability. As the crate just keeps on flying around. God, these guys are huge. Just gives me a bigger target, really. Give me the quiver. Yeah, pretty much what I'm using all the blue stuff for is salvaging, which, based on what I have read from the developers of Diablo, they did not actually expect me to do. I don't understand a lot of their logic looking back. When it comes to the drop rates, they go, oh no, everything that drops should make you go, ooh, I wonder if this is better than what I've got. And I'm kind of like, but about what? No. So many times when things drop, it's not even for me, right? It's for a different class. Now, I could technically have one character of each class, but who's leveling up 5 different characters, all 5 different classes? It is 5 classes, right? That's right, it's 5. At the same time, so that you could transfer, but you know, anything I found here, like, oh, that's a fez.
Do you see that enemy over there? Let us cleanse it from this land.
We'll see if that's good for my other character. Nice. Level up. What do we get this time? War Cry. Will not be using that, but we'll take a look.
A most thrilling battle.
Threatening Shout Rune. Once again, won't be using that. Ground Stomp Rune. Probably not going to be using that, because I like what I have right now on the Ground Stomp, where it brings him closer, so I sets him up for revenge. And we finally have gone around in a circle. You know, but back to my point before. Actually, no. Let's talk about the skills that we got, and then we'll go back to my point before. Okay, Trembling Stomp. Damage enemies affected by Ground Stomp. No, thank you. Battle Rage. Okay, Threatening Shout. Here we go. Reduces the attack speed of threatened enemies. Don't care. And War Cry. Increases armor for you and your allies for 60 seconds. If you're looking for the achievements, that's the easiest way to do it. The achievement would be that you use an ability to buff your follower. That's the easiest way to do it. Just wait until you get that, use it once, boom, achievement. They do not expect you to use Warcry, apparently. Otherwise, they wouldn't give you an achievement for using it the first time. That's just the way that I look at things. Just, oh, well, apparently I'm not supposed to be using that, like weapon throw. Oh, you get an achievement for using weapon throw? Oh, it can't be very good then. How is she hitting things through the wall? Whatever. Oh shit, look how many things were in there. God. Just cleaning the room so fast. I remember when in both Diablo and Diablo 2, there were certain doors you just did not go through because you'd be scared. But, of course, by Diablo 1 standards, this would be floor number 3. You know, being in the 3rd act of normal difficulty. Alright, we got mortar, guys. I don't even need to call the ancients, man. I am good without the ancients on my side. There we go. We finally got one to blow up. I've killed them so fast this whole time that was the first... I've even forgotten their names. The Maniacs? Fallen Maniacs, I think it is? To actually blow up. That was the first time right there. I hope you guys caught it, because we might not be seeing it again until the co-op. When we increase the difficulty and everything just becomes, from what I've heard, overly difficult. God. So much suffering. There is a guy up here. They usually don't do something like that without somebody being there. This guy, he does, you know, crouch down and start doing his little defensive stance, and you don't do very much damage against him when he's like that, so just don't use your abilities while you're doing that, but while he's doing that, I should say. But seriously, he doesn't attack while he's doing that, so it's not like he's all that difficult, really. We still got some places to go here, unfortunately. So let's head back pretty much to the beginning, down on the right side. We can clear out that area. We're looking for the larder eventually. I don't know what a larder is. It's a technical term, though. It doesn't mean a fat guy, like I would think it would. Destroy the barrow stack. This is another damaging, decorative, whatever piece, like the chandeliers and the rocks and all that kind of stuff. It damages enemy and it's part of the environment. So, yeah, use it, I guess. Really, it ends right here. That's where this ends. Okay, where else I need to go? Up and around. Okay. I'm on to you. So it turns out that these places...
It is unfortunate. They really do not construct these fortresses as well as they used to.
Oh? And where are the keeps from your age?
Buried in sand, I expect.
In other words, they got taken over. What was I talking about? So, yeah, it looks like those little siege towers aren't actually the way forward at all. Don't necessarily understand how they got there in the first place anyway. I crossed them and I was still in the keep. So what was the point of them? Oh, they are siege towers, right? Which are more or less glorified ladders with spots for people inside. I always assumed they were custom built for each castle, each siege tower. Of course, it took me until I was in like oh shit, there's somebody in here.
There's a powerful foe over there.
Zalax. It took me until I was in high school to figure out how to storm a castle. It just ladders had never occurred to me. I'm like, how the hell do you get inside the gate? Wouldn't they just, you know, force it? They're like, you storm a side and you put ladders on the side. I'm like, ladders? That sounds so low tech. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily think. Well, I don't think in those terms. But they would actually. Construction was actually pretty rampant on the battlefield during the Middle Ages, especially if you wanted like a trebuchet. I forgot the name of the really big one. I want to say wolf, but I think it was, you know, more complicated than that, like Iron Wolf or something like that. The biggest trebuchet that, like, ever existed? I forget all about it. I just know about it briefly, but they actually constructed it on the battle site. They would put it together and assemble it and then start launching. Like, the original trebuchets didn't have wheels or anything like that. They would just... I don't even know how it works without wheels. I tried to build one once. Oh, for those of you that don't know, the trebuchet is the catapult that uses, like, gravity, so it'll be like a big basket of rocks on one side, and that will fire, and then dropping those will, you know, raise the arm, which launches the cannonball or whatever. It's actually pretty cool. Of course, it's not a cannonball. You know what I mean? The large stone. We need to head back this way before I talk about siege mechanics some more. Once again, yes, siege bridge. We never did unlock this one. The guys need to come down from here. So I mean, siege bridge, I kind of get, but not really. What's the purpose of them being in the middle of the keep like that? I don't get it. Oh, there's probably a lot that I don't understand about medieval warfare. And probably if I played a medieval RTS, I would prove that to you guys. Like, damn it, why are my horsemen dying to these pikemen? And you guys would be like, seriously? Seriously? Pikemen? You launched your cavalry at pikemen? Like, I didn't know. It'd be something like that, but not that. I do know about pikemen. They counter cavalry. Okay, back to the breach, so I can stop discussing medieval warfare. Let's head into the keep's level 3. Yes, it just keeps the same name. Even though I would think that we're in a new dungeon area, we're really just one level lower, I guess. We'll keep going now. We'll keep going, and we're going to fight more of the same enemies. These are, I don't know, could you consider these the best army that hell has to offer? Probably not. They just said they were Asmodan's army, and who knows what that means in terms of overall power or elites, anything like that. They're in front of us, we kill them. But I don't know. I always think that, damn it, that there would be something more powerful than these guys, but maybe there's not. Maybe this is the most powerful army that hell has to offer. Well, I'm sure Act number 4 has tougher enemies, though. And they do. That they do. Alright, head there! Spoiler alert, in Act 4 things get tougher. But really, like I said, the game just constantly gets tougher. The easiest time that you have with the game is designed to be the beginning of it. And then it gets harder and harder from there. That's the general idea of the game. It could be wrong from time to time. It could work differently. You could have an easier time some places than others, but that's generally the design of the game, is that it just keeps getting harder and harder and harder until you make it to the highest difficulty in the last act, and that will be the hardest that you do, or the hardest part of the game for you. At least that's the design. We got knockback guys. Not that scary anymore. Just what are you gonna do? And I think this will put me over.
I'm carrying too much.
It does. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to town. I'll see if there's anything new that I want to get there, and I'll let you know. And I'm back, and all I really got here, on top of that, which I'll just salvage, is new armor. No, actually, I got a couple new things. I got new armor, more vitality, and regenerating life, plus a lot more defense. Got new boots, more strength, 80 plus. Well, magic find is always nice. 228 DPS now. And the enchantress, I did put something in to her weapon, just minimum maximum damage. So she's doing 45 as opposed to my over 200. Just once again for comparison reasons. Let's move on. I did get to level 28. As you can see, the bar's still going pretty good. Wow, 6 on that first hit. Oh no, it's a tremor. Yeah, I really don't care if you follow up. It doesn't change my tactics at all. if you get into your little defensive stance, it just does not matter. And here we find more Fall of the Barbarians.
The children of Bull Cathos settled in the northern steppes, an area that is now known as the Dreadlands. Theirs was primarily a nomadic and tribal culture, though they had a few permanent settlements such as Cesseron and Harogoth. A group of revered former warriors known as the Elder Council ruled the barbarians.
Okay, so that's just a little bit of history. Not too much, though. Just a couple settlements here and there. We are, after all, still barbarians and not civilized people, I guess you could say. But, you know, a couple settlements here and there. Harogoth being one of the main settlements.
Flows over our
You can see the blood here that she's talking about. And it's also the way forward, which means that I'm going to go back the other way to turn on my green stuff so that I do more damage. And I still have enough for the Call of the Ancients, but once again...
have been few up until this point. Asmodan will make his move soon.
Oh, trials have been few. Have you seen how many enemies they've been throwing at us, Enchantress? They keep on throwing just wave after wave of enemies. Not that I'm complaining, I like it. But to say that there's not really been a challenge is to pay too close attention to how good I am. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so we need to head up top. And up there, hopefully we can find more to destroy. God. Just feels so overpowered. Once again, no real canon reason as far as I can tell. I haven't had anybody really give me a reasonable explanation for why the Nephilim is this powerful. But it really picks up in the last act, I would say. Last act really makes you think like, whoa, that guy is something to behold. But we'll get there when we get there, and then I'll make my case. And I would love to hear anybody counter it. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but you know, I just want to hear what the reasoning is. If there is even an official one, that'd be great. Yeah, I actually, it's not rhetorical. It's not an argument. I'm just like, hey, you didn't really explain it. And that's my only thing. All right, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I talk way too much about it. Attack speed's always nice. 25% actually does make a noticeable difference, more than I would think, to be honest with you. But 25% seems to go a lot faster when you attack. When you first see that number, you're like, oh, that doesn't sound like much. But then you start attacking again, and you go, oh, wow, that's pretty damn fast. Nothing over there? Okay. Look at the difference here. Oh, almost killed him. One more. Almost killed him before he got a single attack off, but fortunately he made it. There's another one, part 3.
The barbarians have always defended their lands in the north from trespassers. They believe that it is their sacred charge to guard Mount Ariat and the world stone within it from the outside world. Unfortunately, their battle prowess and tenacity have been misinterpreted as bloodthirst and territorial savagery by soldiers in Westmarch.
Westmarch. That's the couple times that they've mentioned that this act, well, at least this session, you guys didn't catch the first one because it was just a small little cutscene in town as soon as I booted it up. But they mentioned Westmarch before. I don't remember seeing it on the map. I don't remember it coming up before. Maybe it's just part of a larger area that includes Tristram. Maybe that is part of Westmarch. Alright, let's move on. But here, we have found the Larder! What does that mean? What is the Larder?
He's here.
Ghom is here.
The one who killed Lord Belial. I will savor tearing the flesh from your bones.
Did he fart at the end there? Was that the sound that I heard? Alright, let's head in. We've got Ghom. Ghom, he can be pretty tough. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's the easiest guy. Let's stun him and call my ancients. Lord of Gluttony, he is an official evil. I would have, well, not really an evil, but he's the Lord of Gluttony. That's got to be good for something, right? He is plagued, but I just don't care right now. And down he goes! Tell me about him.
Ghom is the largest of Asmodan's sin lieutenants, and he possesses no less than 4 mouths. Though his voracious appetite is certainly his greatest weapon, his bile and, well, other noxious excretions are equally lethal. When last seen in battle, the Lord of Gluttony swallowed 6 angels whole, spears and all.
He swallowed 6 angels whole, spear and all. I just wanted that reiterated. He killed angels, 12 of them, by himself, and I killed him single-handedly. We'll see more of that kind of stuff as we keep on going. This would be great for my enchantress, for the enchantress I should say, except that it's barbarian only. She can't equip it, can she? Please? Nope. Nope. No, of course not. That'd be too simple. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like I really want either one of these two things. So let's just teleport back to town, just like it says here. We are done.
An empty victory over a useless tool. You have only delayed your inevitable destruction. Your walls have grown no stronger. Our assault continues unabated. The stone will still be mine.
No. The Black Soulstone will not be his. He needs to get into it so that Leah can, well... Wait, what happened to Tyrael?
Terrifying noises were coming from the armory, so Tyrael went to investigate. He said if you were to return, I should send you there.
Alright, to the armory. So pretty much we're still in Bastion's Keep. All of this is taking place inside of Bastion's Keep itself. So before I do move on, since I'm already back here, I might as well clear out all this stuff as well. Actually, that might be good for her. And I will be back once again.